guys, and welcome back to my channel. So we're kind of at an angle here. We've got the yellow lighting, you know the drill. I'm sorry. And that's just how it is. So, long time no see. I haven't filmed a video in a while. This is a pregnancy update, as you can tell by the title. And it is going to be covering weeks 27 through 30. My last video I did was, I think, 24 to 26 weeks. So now we're doing 27 to 30, and technically today I am filming this on Sunday, so I am 30 weeks and how many days? 4 days. So, a lot has happened. First I will kind of give you the recap of where the stats are right now for 30 weeks, and then we will go back and go over kind of what's happened these last few weeks. So, according to this, it says the baby is the size of a cabbage, and I'm using my, it's just called Baby Bump app, is what I'm reading right now. It says the baby is 15.7 inches or the size of a cabbage. That's a big cabbage if you ask me. And weighs about 2.75 pounds. It says, as your baby continues to practice breathing, you may notice a bout of the hiccups. Many moms have described the feeling as a series of small twitches, and I do feel hiccups once in a while. Usually early morning, like when I first wake up and have breakfast, and then in the evening when I'm getting ready to try and go to sleep. It says, with only 10 weeks to go, you may wonder how much more your uterus will grow. By this time, you may have gained anywhere from 25 to 35 pounds, depending on your pre-pregnancy weight, and you will continue to gain about a pound a week. And as for many women, as your due date approaches, it is common and normal to feel more emotional than usual. Which, ask my family, they will tell you absolutely, mom's crazy. And then it gives you some tips on how to do Kegel exercises. So that is for week 30. Baby is moving a ton. My belly is growing. I'm not really having any specific cravings or aversions, really. I'm not sleeping at all. I'm waking up about almost every hour and a half on the dot to go to the bathroom. I still find myself wanting to sleep on my right hand side, and I do. Sometimes, I'll wake up sleeping on my right hand side. Talked to my doctor about it. She's not too concerned. She said that you will just know. And you will either wake up like I have been doing, or you'll just roll over in your sleep. Odds are you're going to wake up from rolling over too, because anytime I switch sides, then I have to pee. So, there's that. Bending over is almost non-existent now. Even squatting, it gets hard to come back up because the baby is so low. My husband the baby got himself in a goofy position one day, and you could actually see his butt sticking out. It was pretty funny. So my husband got to feel that. That was funny, and then he was kind of pushing around, and then the baby went bloop and moved. So he freaked out for a moment, and I'm like, it's just the baby moving, you're fine. What else? We still have not settled on a name, you guys. I thought we were down to 2, then I thought we had the name. Now we're up to 3. 2 of the previous ones, and we've thrown another one in. If it were up to my daughter, today it would be named Santa Claus. 2 weeks ago, she would have called it Caterpillar. And she really likes the name Finn. It is not going to be named Finn. I like that name, but it is not going to be named Finn or Finley. Otherwise, nothing much exciting has happened. I have increased my iron pills. I now take my prenatal, and then I take twice a day iron pills on top of that. Obviously not with my prenatal because that has iron in it, because I am low on iron, and my last lab test came back saying I'm still low, so I'm going another dose up in iron. With that comes all the nice side effects, that you already have because you're pregnant. So I'm also starting a stool softener. That's fun. Lots of kicks, lots of jabs, punches, rolling over. What else? That's about it for that. So now we'll kind of go back and talk about some appointments I've had and what's going on with that. You're going to see me looking down a lot because I have my notes on my phone here. So we're going to go over that. So, the last video you saw, I was 26 weeks. I think it was almost 27 weeks, actually. Somewhere in between there. So then I went to my 28-week appointment because I'm going every 2 weeks. And I did the glucose test, the wonderful glucose test, where you drink that orange soda and you get your blood drawn in an hour. And I failed it. So then they called and said, you failed it, you need to go to the hospital and do the 3-hour test because they don't do it at my clinic. So I went into the actual hospital to have that done. That was the next day. It was a fasting one. You can't eat or drink anything after midnight. Did that, failed that. Got the phone call that afternoon telling me you failed that. So told me to immediately, because of my age and now that I failed that and was basically diagnosed with gestational diabetes, that I needed to go back to the main hospital, which is about an hour away from me. There's like a couple different branches of the hospital, and the one nearest me is like a level 3, and the main one is like has like a level 4 NICU, and that's where like all the high-end specialists are for pregnancy. So I needed to go there. I could continue to see my regular OB, but I need to go there for a consult, and especially with this gestational diabetes. So we scheduled that at 29 weeks. Went in, met her. It was a 2-hour consult. I could not believe how long it took. And at my 28-week appointment, I was 175 pounds. So I think I've put on like 30 pounds or something like that. So went in, met with her. She weighed me. It had only been like a couple days, so I was still 175 pounds. Blood pressure is great. It's always been great. It was like 116/68 or something like that. Seen her, and we kind of went over how it works, what's the difference between gestational diabetes and other types, because my husband is type 1, so what he has to do and what I have to do are similar but yet different. My pancreas is working, his obviously does not work at all. He's completely insulin dependent, where I'm just insulin resistant. He needs to watch his sugars, his carbs, and all that stuff, whereas I'm just, when I went in, she said, we're just really going to focus on looking at our carbs and seeing how many you can have at any given time and how your body's going to break them down. So she gave me this little chart. We went over what foods are good, what foods are bad. Then, like for me, fruits and vegetables are all freebies except for corn and a few vegetables, like squash. I can eat all the apples and bananas and stuff I want. Whereas, like my husband, them will just, they'll kill him. Not kill him, but kill his blood sugar. So, went and did that. She gave me a diary to track everything I ate, measure it out, see where my carbs are sitting for the day. She kind of gave me a goal to eat like only 3 carb points in the morning. Everybody's different. You can either count points or total carbs. And the way the point system works is like, these aren't the exact figures, but like 5 to 15 carbs equals a half a point or something like that. So we just do carb points because it's easier. I find it on the little paper, and then I look over here and it tells me what the points are, and I write that down. So for breakfast, I'm supposed to try around 3, lunch and supper around 4 carbs, and then snacks I can have, maybe 2 carb points per. And I'm trying to aim between 12 to 18 carb points a day. I also got a meter, a glucose meter with the strips and all that to test my blood sugar, and I'm testing right away in the morning when I wake up, and then 2 hours after each main meal, breakfast, lunch, and supper, not after snacks. So I'm doing that, and the goal for that was in the morning to have my blood sugars below 90. An hour after eating, if I eat cereal, I'm to test an hour after, if it's a meal. An hour after eating below 140, and 2 hours after eating below 120. So I did that for a week and took all my results in, met up with her at about 30 weeks. I was actually like 1 day shy. Looked it over, and all of my morning sugars were between 91 and 104 or so. So I never really got below 90. All the rest of my days, like, we looked at the food and stuff and could kind of figure out, like, we had a death in the family, so I had a funeral, like, buffet. And we all know funeral potatoes, they're so good, but they're so high in carbs, so I overate that day. But for the most part, I was able to, with diet, control my blood sugars where they wanted it. It was just the overnight one for whatever reason, I could go to bed after having supper, checking my blood sugar, it could be 107, and I would wake up and it would only drop down to like 98. It wasn't at night. That's where the insulin resistance is kicking in, and my body's just not breaking down the carbs. So it was agreed upon that I would start insulin only at bedtime. So now I take 10 units of insulin at night. I've been doing that tonight will be the third night, I believe. And this morning I woke up with a good number. It was like 81. Yesterday it was still like 92. But this morning it was good. So hopefully tomorrow is good as well. At that same appointment, then in the afternoon, I met with a high-risk doctor, OB doctor, the other day, and got a surprise ultrasound. I was not expecting that, but apparently anytime you meet with him, he does an ultrasound, where they went in, they actually measured the baby and all that, and if you recall at the beginning of this, my app said he should be about 2.5, 2.7 pounds, something around there, and he was measuring at 3 pounds, 7 ounces. But that's only five days ahead, according to the calculations. So my first ultrasound I had 20 weeks, he was 7 days ahead, and now he's 5 days ahead. So they're not concerned. I've got ultrasound pictures, a really cute one I will show you in a second. So we met with the doctor, and he said that that was encouraging. Normally at this point, if it was going to be a large problem and you were going to have a large baby, you would see a very large baby in the ultrasound. But since he's not that, I mean, he's big, but he's not extremely big, he's not really concerned about it. He would like to see me in 4 weeks to do a follow-up growth scan as well. And starting at 32 weeks, he has requested I do twice weekly visits. So because he's not completely concerned, however, I can do these at my regular clinic, and he has access to all that information. So what we have decided to do between me, him, and my regular OB is I'm able to I can do it between NSTs, which are non-stress tests, and ultrasounds. I can do one other, 2 of one and none of other, or 2 of the other and none of the first. So what we're going to be doing is pretty much a lot of NST tests. I do have an ultrasound I already had scheduled for 33 weeks. So for the 32 weeks, I'll have 2 NST tests. 33 weeks, I'll have 1 of each. 34 weeks, I will have 1 of each because I need to go back and see him. And then as long as that appointment goes well and the baby's still growing at a normal rate, not at an accelerated rate, I will not have to come back and see him. I can plan on having a regular delivery, go back to just seeing my OBGYN, and having 2 NST tests a week, and then between herself and I, can decide if we think another ultrasound is needed later on, maybe at 38 weeks, 39 weeks, just to double check, we can do that. Otherwise, things will just go smoothly and normal. But they do need to monitor just because of the insulin. So, we will be doing that. Also, when I went back for the follow-up, between my 28 and my 30-week appointment with my regular OB, I've not put on any weight at all. I'm still 175 pounds. I was a little concerned at first because they say you should be putting on, more than that a week now. But my doctor was not concerned simply because I have taken the sweets out of my diet. I've replaced them with carrots and celery and all that good stuff. And I'm kind of carb counting now, whereas before I was eating all the crazy stuff. So the baby is growing. My weight is staying the same. It is fine. The baby is growing. They're not concerned at this point. Now, I'm going to show you the cute little ultrasounds. I was so excited, you guys. The last pregnancy I had, my daughter's 5.5, or 5 now. I don't know if my insurance didn't cover it or what. Same clinic, but I didn't have to go to the hospital for these ultrasounds. But we always got ultrasound pictures like this. Try and cover up some stuff. But the basic ultrasound. So there is the profile of my son. His little nose there, and he's got his hand in there. Then she switched it over to... Did I show you that right? I'm sideways. Yeah, his little hands there. That's his little nose, I think. Yeah, I don't know. But then they switched it over to 3D, you guys, and we've never, ever gotten this. So this was so exciting to see him. Can you guys see him? Oh my gosh, he's so cute. got that one. This one's pretty much the same. But he's so cute. Look at that little nose. Love it. Love it, love her. Super, super excited. My daughter says he looks like a puppy. She's a goofball. So, that is where we're sitting now. I'm doing the insulin at night. I have another ultrasound at 33 weeks. And in the meantime, I'm just going to I'll have a regular appointment at my 32 week, and then we'll start the twice weekly visits. They kind of will coincide with my OB appointments anyways. I have an OB appointment at the end of every week. So on Mondays I'll have an NST test, and on Fridays I'll go see my OB and have an NST test then as well. So lots of running around, lots of appointments. Hopefully I can keep on these a little bit better, keep you guys updated. My next update will probably be, barring there's no crazy thing happening, will probably be around between 33 and 34 weeks when I have my next ultrasound. And me and the dietitian, the diabetes RN, are just gonna be talking back and forth in my chart. I'll be sending her my numbers, downloading my meter so she can see them, and sending her my food, and we can adjust insulin if need be that way. Otherwise, when I go to the clinic in 4 weeks to meet the high-risk OB, I'll have a quick meeting with her before that as well. That is everything, you guys. I will try and show you my belly. Any questions or whatever, go ahead and leave them below. And let's see the belly, guys, shall we? Okay, guys. So here is my belly. It's a nice big belly, huh? Front. I don't know why people do this, but there you go. That is the bump. He is very much head down. The ultrasound tech told me. I'm like chopping my head off. His head's way, way down low. His booty's right about here. He is head down, very low, facing that way. So he kind of, and I kind of figured that because he's always hard on this side and it's more squishy over here. So he's kind of laying right here, head way down, booty right here. I get kicks way up here now. I'm going to get my chair, guys. So, that is it, you guys. I will see you all in my next video.